All right, awesome. Man, the story of the game. We held up defensively really well up until the fourth quarter. Um, we were opportunistic offensively, really up until that fourth quarter. Um, Offensively solid on third down. The two fourth downs we didn't get really a lot of ways the difference in the game there at the very end. Um, the not getting it down there tight when we went for it on fourth down. Um, really in a lot of ways that 3 points is the difference in the game there at the end. Um, Defensively, did a great job containing the run game up until the fourth quarter, and uh, and then gave up 17 there at the end and didn't score any in the fourth quarter. We've been really good in the fourth. We weren't today, and I just told the guys, man, we're going to be in this situation again as a program. We're going to be in this situation again at some point, hopefully this year, where you got to go finish a game, and it has nothing to do. It ain't on ego at the end. Uh, we didn't do what we had to do to go win it, and obviously the holding call at the end didn't help. But again, it's not on anybody other than me to make sure that we're able to go finish there in the fourth, and we didn't. Um, we left it out there. We didn't go finish. I thought really resilient in a lot of ways by Byram, really resilient in a lot of ways by everybody else offensively to be able to go give us a chance there at the end. But in the fourth quarter, we were in too many third and longs. We didn't run it as effectively as we needed to after the big long run in the third. Defensively, like I said, um, held up really, really well. Came up one drive short. Credit to Memphis. Um, Obviously, a really solid football team, really gritty by the quarterback. And when they got 15, and we've got a really good team. So told our guys that I love what we're about. I love the culture that we have. Um, got really high end leadership, and you play to win the game, and we didn't win it today. But we'll be back in the situation as a program, and we'll learn, we'll grow, um, and we'll continue to be really, really a really, really good football team. So I'll take the blame. It's on me for us offensively there in the fourth not being able to go get it done, and I'll be better as well. So I'll take it.
What's the most frustrating aspect of the whole thing? Is there something that really bothers you that you couldn't stop it from doing?
I think really the most frustrating piece is just not being able to go score in the fourth. I felt like we protected well. Felt like at times we we couldn't get open and man. It was like it was frustrating, but I also thought we got open and man. Um, just the inability to go score in the fourth.
When it comes to running game, you know, at the explosive plays, I felt like a lot of times those early down carries that you talked about being so important to the pushing pace in this offense, putting things behind the sticks, making things more difficult on the pass game, which a lot of times worked out, but then fourth quarter had some of those struggles. What is going to be the main focus going forward to make sure that, especially in a game situation like this, the run game is still able to keep things moving and allow you guys to keep moving the ball?
I think it's no different than the pass game. Just find detail that's going to be better. Obviously there in the fourth, we were in third and long quite a bit, which, like you said, is it's all about the early downs. Uh, they know you're going to run the ball. It's obviously a little bit harder to do it. You involve the quarterback. I thought Byron was tough and gritty, um, but we've got to be better. Find detail. It's a couple inches off on a down block. It's eyes being in the right place on a counter pull. Just find detail, and we'll continue to get better.
Goes fourth down in the first down in the fourth quarter, four throws, two rushes. I know a lot of it's package stuff, so whatever runner sees, runs against someone and then throws it against others. Do you ever go into him and say, this is a spot where we need to stop, where we need to run the ball a little more, and adjust there, or is it just whatever he sees, that's what we go with? That's what the offenses decide to do.
No, I think more than anything, it's coaching in terms of if the expectations that you're going to run it, you're going to have to be able to loaded box counts off, and you got to be able to pitch and catch the ball on the perimeter. It's hard to put a square peg in around a hole, and rather than doing that, it's not so much the offense is designed. It's if there's more people in the box than you've got, you're going to inevitably throw them all. That you saw it wasn't just shots down the field, it was move the pocket stuff and let them get out of the perimeter. And, I thought when executed, it was really good. But again, when it's not, sit here and answer that question. But you're trying to take what the defense is giving you and attack the soft spots in it, and the run works just like the pass.
From a defensive perspective, first half compared to second half, or really fourth quarter, like you said, was there something different that Memphis tried to do? Was it more of like, from your guys' perspective, maybe some fatigue, maybe some lack of execution?
Yeah, I thought in the first half we didn't tackle great, which was the biggest point of emphasis. And I thought in the second half we tackled better, but they were in a 2-minute type mindset the whole time. We were playing more drop coverage, had our speed package out there, which we just didn't execute at times. It was the scrambles, it was the balls in the flat. Just didn't execute. Couldn't affect the quarterback in the pocket like we needed to. And he's really solid. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He did a really good job. They did a better job than us in the fourth quarter in terms of being able to pitch and catch balls and forcing guys to tackle in space.
You think the quarterback raised his game, or it certainly affected him in the first half and had him frustrated, and then at the end of the game?
Yeah, I thought he played well. You talking about their quarterback?
Yes,
I thought he played well in the second half. He looked like an experienced QB. He's playing football, which is what he is. I don't know, but he played well in the second half.
Coach, he's just getting the running for American Conference despite the loss. Any time I just stay the same, I'm not looking up on my head. Since I just lost.
Yeah, we've never looked ahead in any way. We're in year 3 of building a sustainable program that's going to outlast the test of time. We've never looked ahead, never talked about a conference championship. I'm sure it has been talked about as it should. We've played really good football, but we've never talked about it. It's never been about anything past who we're playing. It's never been about anything other than trying to be the very best version of ourselves today. And literally, when I told these guys, man, we're right here, we're right now. It's the only thing that matters is today, how we handle today. And today we lost, and it's not okay to lose. It'll never be okay to lose, but you work on your process one day at a time. You continue to try to grow and build, and that's all we're going to do is continue to grow and to build and get better. We got to get better. Elite teams get better as they go, and it's late October. We're playing meaningful games. We're going to go into November and play meaningful games again, and that's what you want to do as a football program.
As frustrating, heartbreaking as this was, and your team, how do you believe they'll respond to this?
I think they'll respond just like they have every single week. The leadership of the team will continue to carry forward. Guys will continue to follow. I told these guys last night how proud I am of the passion, the energy, the consistency that they continue to come to work with. They love each other like crazy. It's really special. Like what's going on in that locker room is really, really special. It's special in modern day college football. It's special really at any point. They love on each other. They hold each other accountable. They demand greatness out of each other. We're young in some spots. You saw freshmen, sophomores all over the place. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to push through and grow. But they'll be just fine. The key is to never get to a point where you're pointing a finger at anybody but me. And I'm 100% sure that will.
I got in this game. looking at the rest of the schedule, what's the biggest thing you want to take from this game, whether it's offense, defense, just from an overall sense, really apply that to the rest of the schedule you guys have done?
Yeah, it's a great question. Just how small the margins are when you're playing really good football teams. They're tiny. They're absolutely tiny. And when you're playing really good football teams at this point in the year, you've got to be on it to a really end of the week flip. And by on it, I mean detailed out, down to down. The situation of football matters. Special teams matter. Um, every little detail matters, and come up short. So we got to go back and figure out where and how. And as coaches, we've got to do a really, really good job of figuring out where we jacked up the detail, where in the margins we lost. And I gave you a couple, but there's certainly more to figure out. And we will when we watch the film, and staff as they lead. We'll get to the bottom of what our issues are. We'll adjust. We'll get better. We'll grow. And then the only thing that's going to matter is us taking care of ourselves this week and get ready for UTSA.
Coach, we were pretty far away from the press box, but we saw you waving at the crowd as you walked Jacob Merrifield off the field in the third quarter there. What happened there? Was there some kind of interaction there with the fans, or what happened?
Not really interaction. I've never been in a place where you get booed when a player gets hurt. Jacob went down. The stuff going on that sideline, and it is what it is. You're on the road. I get it. I've never seen a kid get booed, but it is what it is. I love the culture of our program.
Which has Nico Gramatica trots out that camp. Obviously, he's made kids from that before. What's going through your mind as a coach, just knowing that the game had a rest in that way?
Yeah, well, I'm disappointed that we didn't score. But the only thing going on in my mind is where we're going to go in overtime with our first play. Nico's special. Nico's incredible. Nico's process was elite. Nico will be in that situation again. And there ain't a kicker in the country that rather have him. Thank you, guys.
Good. Well, so what's going on in the locker room, Mac? How you guys dealing with it in there?
Right now, just a lot of hurt. We hurt. You know, it's easy to feel better about yourself when you haven't prepared. When you didn't do all you could over the week, when your preparation wasn't right, when your process wasn't right. I think the hardest thing for us right now is just to accept the fact that we prepared the right way, our process was the right way. We came in with the confidence that we earned over the week, and we did not get the result that we wanted to. But that's on me as a leader, us as a leader. As far as the seniors and the leaders of the team, we've got to just dig this week on our bye week and figure out what it was that we missed in our process, and get right back to that and figure it out so we can get back rolling again.
Their offense obviously got hot in the late going. Was it what they did or what you guys didn't do?
I mean, that's a great offense, and you can't miss a beat, and they've showed several times over the course of the games that they've played that they can get streaky towards the end of the game, and that's what they did tonight, and we've just got to be just completely better schematically as far as execution. We've got to be completely better, and that's what we're going to work on this week, and that's what we're going to fix.
How do you feel that you guys executed well the game plan? How do you guys feel like that you were able to do the things against Memphis? And then the second part is last first main you guys are going to take out of that to really head into this bye week and head into preparing for the rest of this.
To your first question, I think the first half, we executed fairly well. I think, there's always the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. And I hate to be cliche or corny, but it's the truth, man. Like we didn't give them, any doubt that they could come back and win. We as a defense, we have to suffocate people and make them, have doubt that that they can't sneak back into the game. And then what was your second question?
that fourth quarter where things didn't go great, where Memphis started to get hot. Essentially, what's the main thing you guys can take from that actual performance to really improve yourselves over the coming weeks?
We got to execute. We got to execute. More importantly, like execute, strain, and like especially on myself. You know, like I've got all the fingers pointed at me. You know, I've got to be a better leader in those moments. I've got to execute a lot better. You know, I have to get the defense on the same page. And you know, there's a bunch of guys on that defense right now feeling the exact same way. And that's the positive that I'm taking out of this game is that you know everybody's hurt, everybody's broken, and everybody's looking to improve. And from a loss, that's all you can ask for.
What's your feeling, big picture, about how this team is going to respond? You know, you've been responding to the past. How do you think everybody's going to react to this and get better?
We've got a resilient group of boys, you know, who've been through a lot of pain, off the field, on the field, and the love that we have for each other is second to none. I'll put our love up against anybody in the country. We're going to lean on that, and we're going to use that to get better and to learn from these mistakes that we've had today. Sorry.
What did you see from Memphis quarterback? Seems like you guys most part had him in the first half and the second half was starting to. Was that him playing good in the second half? Was that you guys?
I mean, I think it was a little bit of both. You know, if we play to the best of our ability, you know, we make the plays so that he can't do what he does. But also, you know, credit to him for being the player that he is. You know, being able to not only use his arm late in the game, but also be able to use his legs, get out of the pocket, and you know, scramble for some really good gains and some important yards later on in the stretch. So I just want to give credit to him, obviously, but you know, we've got to be completely better, like I said.
And then after Marathon went down, obviously the crowd started going. And then from there on out, every time this injured, crowd going. From a player's perspective, you know, what's been the very last game?
I ain't worried about nobody but us. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Going on?
What's the story of the game to you?
So what?
What's the story of the game to you? What stands out in your mind?
No, just got finding ways to win. You know, wish I could take my turnover early back. Maybe go down and score, and then we wouldn't be in that predicament. But you know, it's football. Play next play.
Is it a momentum thing where they just seem like they got hot? The teams just get hot. You can't stop them and the swings.
That's not the case. You know, it's football. You know, you just gotta execute play to play. And we didn't do that today. It's really what it was.
From an offense perspective, have you guys felt that you guys played from like overall sense? How do you feel like the run game did? How do you feel like the pass game did? And what's the biggest thing you want to take from this game heading into the coming weeks and games?
We left a lot out there. You know, little things here and there that could have, you know, got us to third and short or second and short. You know, those are things that you want back, obviously. But at the end, it's football. You got to play the next play, and you know, we'll clean that up in the film room. And, you know, we did some good things, we did some bad things. We'll clean it up.
When it comes to this Memphis defense, did they start doing anything different from your perspective in that second half? Whereas, you know, maybe the run lanes that were there weren't as open. Maybe some of the passing lanes that you had were a bit tighter. Like, what were some of the adjustments that you saw from that second half?
They're a good defense. You know, they adjusted, but you know, we adjusted as well. You know, it's just like I said, it was all of us. We just didn't execute the way we need to execute. That's it.
From a leadership standpoint, what are you seeing and feeling in the locker room, and how do you feel like the team will respond at this moment?
We will respond, and everybody's, you know, hurt. Nobody like to lose. If you like to lose, then it's wrong sport for you. So, you know, we'll collect our thoughts and the play right back, and then tomorrow it's back to work. You know, it's a bye week, back to work.
Sometimes because you were such a massive part of this offense, responsible for 70+% of the yards at some points. When things start going sideways, do you change what you're doing at all, or do you just still try and put some faith in your teammates as you possibly can? What kind of adjustments do you make when things get a little tight, a little bit tougher as the full towards that?
I just trust my rules, and play the next play. You know, I got playmakers all around me. The O-line does a great job. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. So it's really just my job to get the ball to them and let them make plays. So I don't have to change anything at all.
That last drive where you guys are heading down, looking to tie it with potential field goal, potential touchdown. Kind of just run through like your perspective on that drive. We felt like you guys were able to execute on, and maybe something that the next time you guys have faced that type of drive that you got that this overall unit wants to improve on.
Some throws, which I had some throws back, but I mean, football, I got to the next play. Felt like we did a good job of playing the next play, regardless of what happened to play before. Um, so we'll look at it. We'll go over it and find some things that we did good, some things that we did bad. Correct.
You guys have been a good team for a while. When Memphis starts to make that comeback for the offense, maybe the alarm bells start going off that something needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Every time we step out on the field, we're looking to score. And we didn't do that today, and that is what it is.
Mac was saying, he wants to really go back and analyze what, from a leadership standpoint and preparation, what went wrong. Is there anything from a preparation standpoint that you thought was short, or lack of execution, or what's kind of the thing that's making you most frustrated over what happened out there?
No, probably just everybody just taking a deep dive into what they did during the week. Whether it's getting up and watching more film, getting in there and make sure everybody's as good as it can be. Nobody's body's gonna be 100%, but as close to 100% as possible. Just making sure you're locked in on key downs like third down and fourth down and situational things. But it's just really just taking a deep dive into your process and making sure it's as elite as possible.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank
All right,